This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Suspect in rape of U.S. visitor pointed out in ID parade. The news has been informed that the police have made a breakthrough in their probe into the alleged rape of an American visitor to the island. The suspect was pointed out in an identification parade on Wednesday. He is expected to be charged by Sissoka detectives in St. Anne. It's alleged that the American woman was sexually assaulted in Ocheria, St. Anne on November 7. The news was informed that the woman attempted to file a report with the Ocheria's police but was sent to the St. Anne's Bay police station. Her efforts ended in frustration as the police reportedly failed to take her report. It's understood that she reported her ordeal to the U.S. law enforcement when she returned home. Diplomatic contact was made with the Jamaican government and the police high command, which led to the arrest of the suspect. The American was flown to the island this week for the identification parade. The news has been informed that the high command has ordered a probe into the failure of the St. Anne police in taking the woman's report. 74-year-old man killed in St. Thomas crash. A man is dead following a motor vehicle crash on the Pondside Main Road in St. Thomas on Friday morning. He has been identified as a 74-year-old Bensford Bogle of Yallas, St. Thomas. Shortly after 9 o'clock, Mr. Bogle's vehicle crashed near the Yallas Pond. He was removed from the wreckage by firefighters. Mr. Bogle was pronounced dead at hospital. Bail extended for Councillor Patrick Roberts. Patrick Roberts, a councillor for the Malines Gardens Division and the Chief Executive Officer of Shocking Vibes Production, had his bail extended when he appeared in the St. Andrew Parish Court recently to answer to fraud charges. Mr. Roberts, co-accused 28-year-old laborer Ramon Edwards, also had his bail extended. The men are scheduled to return to court on January 28 for committal proceedings. The complainant alleged that her father's signature was forged on a will. It is alleged that the forgery was witnessed by the accused men. Mr. Roberts is charged with forgery and uttering forged documents, while Mr. Edwards is charged with a conspiracy to defraud. Opposition Senator tables motion for Bob Marley, Jimmy Cliff, Miss Lou to be declared national heroes. Opposition legislator Floyd Morris on Friday morning tabled a motion in the Senate for Bob Marley, Jimmy Cliff, and Louise Bennett Coverley, Miss Lou, to be declared national heroes of Jamaica. He said the three individuals have contributed significantly to music and culture, as well as the global recognition of Jamaica. Mr. Morris wants the government to put in place the necessary mechanisms and procedures to declare their national hero status in time for Jamaica's Diamond Jubilee celebrations next year. Public debate about whether Jamaica should declare additional national heroes was reignited after Barbados named the pop singer and the businesswoman Rihanna as a national hero of that country. Local pundits have for years advocated for Bob Marley and Miss Lou in particular to be considered for Jamaica's highest national honor.
And whereas their prodigious efforts through their careers have contributed to the global recognition of Jamaica, be it resolved that this Honorable Senate calls upon the government to put in place the necessary mechanisms and procedures for these iconic Jamaicans to be declared national heroes and heroines respectively, and be it resolved that these conferments be completed in time for the 60th anniversary of Jamaica's independence on August 6, 2022.
Agriculture Minister fires RADA board. Agriculture Minister Audley Shaw has fired the 7 board members of the Rural Agricultural Development Agency who refused to comply with his request to resign. Mr. Shaw wrote to the members on Thursday telling them that he was exercising his powers under the RADA Act to revoke their appointments. Mr. Shaw had requested the resignation of all 13 board members on November 19, but 7, including Chairman Andrew Simpson, refused to comply. Mr. Shaw said he was not satisfied with the direction in which RADA was heading. Nurses willing to accept a 4% wage offer. A wage row between the Nurses Association of Jamaica and the Ministry of Finance has been averted as the group has now signaled that it is willing to accept the 4% wage offer. The association earlier this week served an ultimatum on the ministry to meet with it by Wednesday to discuss wage-related matters. The NHJ is among major public sector unions which have not yet signed a wage agreement for the 2021-2022 financial year. NHJ President Patsy Edwards Henry told the news that talks were held and it is now likely that an agreement will be signed next month. The association represents 2,700 public sector nurses. Supreme Court rules against the CARIMED workers who challenged the mandatory vaccine policy. The Supreme Court has ruled against the workers at CARIMED and its subsidiary Kirk FP who had challenged the mandatory vaccine policy. The ruling was handed down today. The 5 workers had sued CARIMED and Kirk FP and sought an injunction to stop the company from imposing the mandatory policy against them, as well as to also stop their dismissal. They claimed that their rights to freedom of life and liberty, freedom of person, the right to equality before the law, and the right of respect for family life were being breached. UDC denies low vax levels at Dunn's River turned off cruise line. Acting General Manager at the Urban Development Corporation, Lisa Golding, has refuted reports that Disney Cruise Lines on Thursday refused to allow its passengers to visit Dunn's River Falls and the park in Oteria, St. Anne because the majority of workers at the facility are not vaccinated. Reports surfaced on Thursday that Disney Cruise Lines, which docked in Falmouth, Trelawney, refused to allow its passengers to visit Dunn's River because of the level of vaccination take-up among staff at the facility, especially craft vendors, was low. The cruise line reportedly allowed the passengers to visit other attractions instead. I am not aware of that, Golding told the news when she was asked about the allegations. I am not aware of any issue with vaccination levels in relation to cruise not coming. I am not in a position to comment on that particular statement, Golding added. In the meantime, Devon Mitchell, president of the Oteria's Craft Vendors Association, who is close to the action, has rubbished the claims, citing a 75% vaccination level among craft traders across the 5 active craft markets in the resort town. According to him, the issue had nothing to do with vaccination levels, but with the cruise line which he claimed wanted the venue exclusively for its guests. Vendors are getting their shots, it's happening gradually, Mitchell said. Presently, the Oteria's area comprises of 8 craft markets, but only 5 of them are active, and with all of them we have over 75% compliance. He added, to my knowledge, the ship that came today is a Disney Cruise Line, and the attraction they want to go, they want to know that they alone are at that attraction whenever time that ship comes into harbor, which Dunn's River doesn't buy into that nonsense. So that is the reason. It doesn't have anything to do with vaccines. They tried it with Dunn's River before and they get turned down, and they tried it again. Dunn's River not going to buy into that. Currently, based on the Ministry of Health COVID-19 stipulations, Jamaicans in general and overseas guests in hotels are not allowed access to venues where cruise passengers are being accommodated in order to limit contact and any potential spread of the virus. Bahamas removes the travel ban for southern African countries. The Bahamas government has reversed its policy of imposing travel restrictions on persons coming from some southern African countries. It says the decision was made due to the milder nature of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. Several countries, including those in the Caribbean, imposed the travel restrictions on the African countries after the COVID-19 variant was detected in South Africa a few weeks ago. The travel restrictions were imposed on South Africa, Botswana, Lesotho, Eswatini, Malawi, Mozambique, Namibia, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe. Health Minister Dr. Michael Darville, who disclosed that Bahamas will remove the travel restrictions also announced that the ministry has started the first phase of the COVID-19 vaccine booster rollout. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.